What is going on, everybody? Alfred Ezman with World Baseball Network here, joined by a very special guest. We have Kam Smith with us, the best pitching prospect out of the state of Kansas in the class of 2027, and he just this past weekend committed to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Kam, congratulations and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, man. I can't wait to get talking, man. It means a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, let's start with how you feel. How does it feel to commit to just, a major D1 program? Is it a big relief off your shoulders? What's the
Yeah.
what's the emotion like?
Yeah, man, it feels great. Kind of different than what I had expected just because, deep down, August 1st was crazy. That's when they can first start contacting me. And I had about 40 calls and it was really crazy. And so it was honestly a little overwhelming, but I enjoyed it because I know it's like the only time in my life I'll be wanted like this. But deep down, man, I always knew I was gonna go to Arkansas. Like I was able to come up, it's really close to home. It's about an hour and 40 minutes and so it's a really easy drive, just highway basically. And I got to experience Fayetteville and Baum Walker and the environment, man, and it was like you can't even really describe it. The atmosphere, man, and the fans and the way the stadium is, the facility, man, it's amazing. And so I always knew I was going to go to Arkansas, and so I'm really glad that I made the decision right now, just because I get to continue to build a relationship with the coaching staff and kind of and have this interview with you, man. I'm really appreciative of you reaching out to me. So I'm super stoked and like deep down, man, I'm really excited, and it was always my dream to be a Razorback. But it's just right back to work. Like it's way easier now to just kind of focus on what I need to do each day because I know where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Fayetteville, and I'm going to enjoy it. But I got to be good enough to get there, and now I can. It's a lot easier to just focus on what I need to do.
Talk about, you live right by Fayetteville. I'm assuming you've been to tons of games,
Mhm.
stopped by the campus and such.
Yeah.
This is a school that's had really good pitchers, especially
Mhm.
as of recently. This
Yeah.
decade, Kevin Kopps comes to mind, Hagen Smith, even right now, Gabe Gackle, Will
Yep.
McIntyre. I can sit here and rattle them off all day.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite guys that have put on the red and white for Arkansas?
So the thing that the person that comes to the top of my mind, you mentioned him. I was fortunate enough last fall when they played Oklahoma State in their like fall game. The guy who started that game was Gabe Gackle, and he is electric. I kind of like to think that I pitch a little bit like him. Little different mechanics, but kind of same stuff. Really good breaking ball, really good fastball. He's really good, and so that's probably my favorite Arkansas pitcher. I really like Ben Bybee, man. He's a great guy. He was very successful for Arkansas. Just got drafted. Dylan Carter, he used to train with some of my guys at Premier Pitching, and like man, Kevin was really good, man. McIntyre, he had a really really good long career. That's awesome. Man, I like them all. They just develop guys the right way. They're so professional on the way they go about development and how they train guys and use them in the games, man. That's really attractive to me as a prospect. So that just makes me more excited to go there.
Talk about your development, man. You have a little bit of your high school career left, obviously, being a 2027 kid. But you have been exceptional thus far. I saw this past season, 39 and two-thirds, 71 strikeouts in that
Yeah.
stretch is video game numbers. I mean, you're hitting 90 miles an hour now. You just won pitcher of the year for the 3A division in Kansas high school athletics. You're the number one pitching prospect in the state at your age, and top 40 or 50 nationally around that range. Talk about how you got to this point, who's helped you along the way, and how it's going to continue at Girard High School.
Yeah, man. Well, I had a good year this year, but I understand I have to get a lot better, man. It was a good year, and really, I mean, the development for this year started kind of in the fall. It was my first fall without playing football.
Mhm.
I'm from like a small Kansas area, so it's three sport athletes are very common, and so it was my first fall not playing football, so I really got to hone in on getting stronger, getting faster and getting better, honestly. And I feel like just being alone in the weight room every day and doing the stuff I needed to do kind of transformed me mentally, not just physically. I gained about 20 pounds of good muscle. And then I kind of developed the mindset of like, hey, I'm working as hard as I possibly can every day, and doing it alone. So why can't I just go out there this spring? My stuff's so good. Why can't I just go absolutely compete? And I think that carried into how I pitched against guys this year and this summer. And I think the results just came. But really, I mean, I give all my credit to just all the days where I was just doing it alone each and every day. It just kind of stacked up, and I love the work. It was probably my favorite time of the year because, I mean, obviously, besides this year competing, but in the off season, man, I loved it. Just getting better each day, and then seeing the results come later on. But it was a great feeling, and that just makes me even more excited to get to work this fall.
Yeah, one guy I feel like that may have helped you out is your father, Dan
Hmm.
Smith, right?
Yeah.
MLB draft pick back in the 90s. I think it was the Texas Rangers that I saw that picked him up. Talk about, what kind of advice he's given you throughout your not just high school career, your whole life. He's your dad. So just talk
Yeah.
about, what he's taught you along the way and what he's looking for you to continue doing and how happy he is that you
Yeah.
committed to Arkansas. Mention that too if you could.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, like ever since I came out of the womb, I was around baseball. Like he was finishing up his professional career when I was born, and um, it was I it was a crazy childhood just being around baseball and the experiences that he had that no one can really teach unless you do it. And so the thing that he teaches me the most that guys don't really understand, it's not just pitching and getting guys out and lifting heavy and throwing hard. Like it's not that stuff. It's really like the mental side of the game that it's really hard to play at a high level in this game. And so you have a lot of bad days, and so you really have to stay grounded mentally to know how to bounce back from those bad days or bounce back from those good days, because it's really easy to kind of fall back and say, hey, I made it. But no, man, you always got something to work on. You never get satisfied with where you're at. And that's what he's kind of taught me in this process of just getting older. And speaking on if he's happy or not, man, he loves the Hogs. He loves Arkansas, and he had a little different recruiting process than I did this year. He was drafted in '93 out of high school, so he never got to go to college. And so in this process, man, he's like, "Oh, these places are amazing," but deep down, man, we both knew that it was Fayetteville all along, and so I mean, it's hard not to think that, like with the culture and everybody. So he's super happy for me, and I'm super happy to be a Razorback, but I got a long way to go and got to keep getting better. But this process has been fun for sure, and I'm super lucky to have him in my life. And another guy to mention that is in my life, Dustin Smith. He's a scout with the Rangers. He's been a scout for about 20 years now. Actually just got a World Series ring, which is sick. But he was drafted out of high school as well and played AAA baseball. He was a catcher though for the Rangers in their farm system. But like he this is crazy. He's influenced my decision even more than my dad did. He is a scout, here, so he lives in town with us, but he has Arkansas in his area. And so he basically spends his whole spring in Fayetteville scouting all the Razorback players, and he's around the coaching staff and the environment of it. And since like 2022, when I first started, getting decent at baseball, he was like, if they call you, you're going. Like there is no debate. And so like his insight on the Razorbacks, man, it's been great, and I don't know where I'd be without him. So I'm super thankful to have those guys in my life.
Very good, man. Thank you so much. And one thing, I kind of want to put you on the spot real quick. I like doing this with guys
Yeah.
I interview. You're very young, but you are getting to the point with your age where there's younger kids out there who want to strive to be where you are, who want to be as good as you are.
Mhm.
You've talked about, how much you love working on your craft in the process and how much of an emphasis you put on that with guys like Dustin and your dad who have
Mhm.
helped you along the way. But reiterate for us real quick for all the young kids who watch this, and come across, watching you in your high school career or in Fayetteville or wherever you end up. What do they have to do to get to the point where you're at?
Yeah, man. I remember when I used to be one of those kids and looking up to Arkansas, and I knew I had a long way to go, and it's kind of a lonely feeling. You get kind of lost sometimes, but like what I would tell them, man, is always just keep your head down, like never stop moving, no matter what you're doing. Like you always, deep down, you always know what you need to do to get to a place. So just do it every day and stay consistent. It's really easy now in 2025, especially with all the distractions, on your phone and everything, and just limit them as much as you can and just keep getting better each day. And I promise you the results will stack up.
Very good, Cam. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Congrats on your commitment to Arkansas. Looking forward to big things throughout the remainder of your high school career, and then hopefully in Fayetteville when we see you pitching for the Hogs. So once again, congrats and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, man. I can't wait to go down there. So thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, sir. Well, everybody, this is Alfred Ezman from World Baseball Network. We thank you for watching.